Hey,
Hey, Artozo, what's good? How's it going today?
going fine. It's regular Monday. How about you?
Well, same. It's a Monday out here too as well.
Yeah. How do I pronounce your name correctly?
Giddy's just fine.
Giri. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
good.
It's weird when you talk to other people sometimes via Twitter and Discord, and then you don't even know how they look. How do you pronounce their nicknames, right?
Yeah, of course. Something that's pretty common in this space. I mean, you get to meet people from all over the world, and sometimes it's tough getting the pronunciations right. But that's how we build friends. I get like you would not forget how it's pronounced next time, right?
Yeah, I try to. I have a problem with names. I can say the same with with tags or handles,
Yeah.
but it depends. Sometimes you just meet the person, say my name, they say theirs, and blink of an eye, and I just don't remember how to address them, and that's so embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that. Okay, so how we having fun today?
But I mean, the title says community building and education. We can talk that. I would love to hear your thoughts, and it's just a kind of a freestyle. I just would love to have a conversation. That's it.
Yeah, actually, I prefer the spaces where you don't have people hard on the mics, where like it's all inclusive. You let people come chime in, give their contributions, ask questions and stuff like that. I prefer those kinds of spaces. So uh,
Yeah.
I, for one, I'm not a big talker. I practice active listening more than speaking. So but I do get to contribute here and there. And I like to just listen to
Mhm.
people, just carry on with the conversation as opposed to, just holding the mic and talking like you're in a class or something.
I know. I know. I am an introvert. At least I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now less than ever because I've been more into sales and then hosting spaces.
Okay.
But I don't necessarily like enjoy this too much. Speaking instead of active listening.
Yeah.
But it's something that I just find that I can do. I guess. Yeah, I haven't found like ways to explain it better.
Yeah, I know. I also like the fact that it's a recorded space, so those who don't get a catch on with the live conversation can actually listen in later on. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, would be great. I actually draw just like 10 minutes before the space. I was drawing a line between this like
Mm-hmm.
medium
Mm-hmm.
and podcasts.
Oh.
Uh,
Okay.
and I was thinking this is kind of a cool way to host a podcast because when you listen to a podcast, sometimes you want to chime in, and give your 50 cents or whatever
True.
into the conversation, and this is like a cool way of doing that, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, because you can't do that with the spaces. You just get to contribute, say anything you want to say, ask your questions, get answers. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, me too. And then you get those different types of
Yeah,
freedom with this. You can do chill spaces, you can do AMA sessions,
ex-
you can do a whole bunch of stuff.
exactly. So I think since you're hosting the space today, I think we can uh, start off by setting a narrative. Okay, maybe you tell us about Artozo and also the right pronunciation of that. I don't know if I got it right, but I think it's Artozo. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think we can start with that. You tell us about our Tozo and what it holds for the community and all that, and then people can come in with questions or suggestions. Just talk about pretty much anything that relates around Web3, NFTs, and the metaverse and community building. I think that will work. So at least it still stays within the narrative. How about that?
Yeah, totally sounds like a good agenda.
Okay.
We also may have more people from our team joining, maybe
Okay.
founders answering some questions. Depends on their availability.
All right. That would be great. That would be great.
But yeah, okay. To start with, hey guys, to the ones who I haven't greeted yet, welcome to the space. And yeah, to start with our platform, I guess. Maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't. Depends on whose side you're coming to the space from. But we are an NFT platform which allows you not only to sell, buy NFTs, mint them, post your collections, but also we try to make it more engaging, more gamified, so that people have fun, that they stay, they correlate with each other, they make connections, and there are a bunch of different ways we are going to do that. At the moment, we have the pre-sale stage, right? So the platform is not fully launched yet. It will be around June. But when it launches, what we're having planned to have is a whole number of things to make it user centric. That was the goal of our founders, and also this is something that I lacked when I went to different other marketplaces. Right, I was doing my research before joining Artozo, and I was like going to OpenSea, to Rarible, to a bunch of different places, and I was thinking, they look different, but they are essentially the same to me because um, they are really limited in what they offer to the community. What do I mean? I mean the features they have, the ones that something engaging and more than just a marketplace that allows you to buy and sell, right? And this is what I found at Artozo. For example, we're planning to have the NFT rating system. We are going to have the NFT staking. We have already the referral reward system in place, which it's a fun way to, a number of for a number of things to engage your audience, to let them earn, to give back to the community, etc., etc. So this and a whole lot of other things are going to be in place. Yeah, at the moment we have the pre-sale stage, and during which you can buy the NFT key, which is basically gives you an allocation of our own native cryptocurrency, and you can start inviting friends and take advantage of our referral system. The referral system is built that way that you can send invites to friends, right? Relatives, whomever, to your followers, which is extremely beneficial, I think, for artists, right? Because they have large followings, some of them not, but still, it gives them a way to invite the other people and make money off their transactions. That would normally go to the marketplace itself, like for example on OpenSea, or actually our founders, I believe they did a poll before doing the whole thing, from people who invite a lot of people to the NFT marketplaces, but they don't get anything in return, right? They are growing the community, they are contributing, they are stakeholders, right? But they don't give special, not special treatment, but some kind of a reward for them growing the company, the platform, right? Because they contribute to its growth by inviting friends and others. So that's what we have in place. You can send an invite link to the person. They register, they buy a key, and you already make money from there. For example, key purchase. Right? And that goes for line 1, line 2, line 3 people up to line 10. And that's one of the main benefits that are already in place for the company. Already we have the native cryptocurrency. We'll have, as I mentioned, the rating system, etc., etc. And with this, at least my vision for this is having something that's user centric enough to attract more people. Not because of course people want basic things, right? Security, low cost, and etc., etc. That's that makes sense. But apart from that, when you are on the platform, you made some purchases or sales or whatever. What's next? How do you not get bored, and how does this whole process not get mundane enough, right? And that's I think what's going to be solved with a whole lot of features we're going to implement. That's like a brief overview. So just to sum up, this is we'll have an NFT platform which is going to be launched in June, which is going to have a set of features and functions, such as NFT staking, referral system, rating system, which are going to be intertwined and like in general help people have fun on the platform instead of just purely commercialize the whole thing just for the sake of the company. Yeah, that's that.
Okay, I think that's pretty novel what you guys are doing there. Like, so it's pretty much like an NFT marketplace, sort of like OpenSea, but on what, Solana?
Yeah, Solana.
Yeah, and then you can create, invite, trade, and even stake NFTs, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And people get rewards as opposed to the other platform. I think that's pretty brilliant.
Thanks.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
it is.
that's the general overview. I can talk, for hours, which are usually, what I usually do. I go into Twitter Space and ask what people lack in their existing NFT platforms,
Yeah.
right? And I'm trying to, not only confirm my assumptions about what's bad and what can be improved, but also to hear, suggestions, um, and hear suggestions from the community.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And like we said, we're not going to hoard the mic today. We're going to
Yeah.
have it open for anyone who wants to speak, say something, even if it's not a direct question at Tozo or anyone. You just want to say something about this whole community, about Web3, about building a community, about NFTs, the metaverse, pretty much anything. You can just come up and speak. It's an all-inclusive space. And let me just do a shout out to everyone here before the room gets crowdy. So, Marilda, hi. I've seen you in a couple spaces. I've actually heard you speak, but hello. Mojo, John Black's Blessing, Olga. Apologies if I mispronounce anyone's name, but I'm sorry. We have Mitch, Darlington, Melina, Kaz, Carl L, and Classic. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming through to Artozo Space. And if you have anything to say, just request a mic. Nobody's biting here. Just come up, say something. And while we wait for the rest of the team, right, Artozo? I think you see have some people coming through, right?
Yeah, potentially. Not sure, not confirmed like 100% yet, but
Okay.
some of the founders might come in.
Okay. In the meantime, we could just freestyle, like you said, and just chat. Okay. So, as regards the token or the key you use, can you tell me something about that? Because I know it's kind of different from what we're used to seeing on other platforms. But how does it work with Artozo?
Okay, so the key is just a bit of a background. I'm not technical and stuff, but I can speak.
No problem.
So, but the key is basically the way I see it is the entry is like the entry whatever token, which you go to the platform, you register, you buy a key, and you have access to all the platform's features. Without the key, you don't have access to the features, and you can't use the platform fully. But once you buy it, you are able to do that. And it's not like you buy a key and that's it. You purchase it and you get the allocation for the same amount of the purchase. Basically, the price of it is $50. And you buy it for $50, you get the allocation in our own token worth $50. And you get that like right from the start. Afterwards, you can resell the key. to other people, and that's also something that's in place that can be done. And as I mentioned, at the moment we have the pre-sale stage, right? So the platform is not fully launched. So one of the few transactions you can do is buying the key, right, and getting access to the platform. Uh, of course, as the platform is not fully launched yet, we need, there should be some sense in signing up now instead of later, right? And the way we do that is basically, if you buy a key now, you have access to all of the referral system. It has 10 lines. So basically, you invite a person, the person invites a person, and so on, up to line 10. And you can get rewards from the person on the line 10, right? Which is like 10 handshakes away from you, which is crazy. Like, that's completely an unknown person, but you can get money off his or her transactions. The thing is, when the platform fully launches, you won't be able to take use of all of the lines, right? You'll start with level 1, with line 1. And like in a game, you'll have to progress through your lines, line 1, line 2, line 3, in a gamifiable way. Meaning, if I'm not mistaken, you would need to either have an NFT that is, well, of a certain level, either level 1 or 2 or 3, or you can upgrade an existing NFT to up to a certain level, using a set of mechanics on the platform. And that way you open access to the platform's rewards more and more. But at the moment, as you cannot purchase NFTs, right, on the platform, you can purchase the key, and you have access to all of the 10 lines, right? 10 lines of the referral system. So you can earn money from the person on 10 handshakes away who bought the key, and you can still get money off of his or her transactions. It's pretty complicated when you hear it, but when you go to our platform, to our website, and you read the knowledge base, there is whole math is laid out, how many percentages of the transactions go to whom and why. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward.
Oh, I see. That actually makes sense. So right now there's some kind of early bird advantage for signing up, right? So
Yep.
you get to be at the top of the sort of pyramid scheme or system where others who come under you, you actually get to reap off their purchases and activity on the marketplace, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's how it works, because there should be some incentive to people, to early adopters, right? Because otherwise it would make sense to say go to the platform now, and they would say why. This is the basic question, the basic answer, because you can, first of all, you'll have the referral system open. Second of all, you'll be able to buy the token, which once the platform launches, it gets listed, etc., etc. It grows in price, and that's also the investment you can make, right from the early start.
Okay, I think I like that. I like that. And this will be fully functional in a couple days, weeks. How long before you guys launch?
Like the rough deadline or time frame is June. I'm not sure on the exact date yet, because it depends on the developer side, on the back end.
Okay.
But yeah, it's planned to be in June. It was planned to be a bit earlier, but we are a team from Ukraine, the core team, and it was delayed to the known reasons. But now it's gone. It should be as planned in June.
Okay. So can you answer the question relating to using an external wallet on the site? Can you answer that question? Like, would it be possible to use an external wallet?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, so that should be in place.
Oh, great. So pretty much anyone can use like any crypto they have in their wallet. And there's like you guys have this cross-platform simulation where it works.
Sorry, could you repeat that again?
Yeah, like you can use any crypto you have in your other wallets on Artozo, or does it have to be the Artozo token alone?
Not necessarily. I believe you may
Okay.
do transactions in a number of different currencies, which is already visible when you go to purchase a key. There should be a number of them, and we're also working on something that allows you to buy, to make purchases directly from your card, not from the wallet, which is kind of a unique new thing. I'm not sure again on the backend stuff, but this is something we're planning to have in place.
Yeah, it is actually unique. I mean, if you could just do it from your card, it makes ease of transaction.
Yeah,
and still possible. Well, I like that. I'm actually enthused to see how this plays out when you guys launch. I am. Okay, so we have two speakers up here that requested the mic, and I want to hear what you have to say, questions to ask, or you just want to contribute. So let's have Young Z. Please, you can unmute your mic and tell us what you want to say. Young Z. Going once, Young Z. Twice. Okay. Madhu, please, you can unmute your mic.
yeah, guys, come on. We don't bite, so you can contribute or ask any question you want.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it's not the space on me. I hope they're not rugging.
No, it should be all should be fine.
Fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Madhu Hilarious. You want to say something? Or you just want to say hi to the room?
Yeah, we'll accept the hi too.
Okay, it's not speaking.
Yeah, wait, John. Yep. Yeah, would love you guys to contribute and to contribute to the conversation. Hey, John.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Hey, yeah, how's it going?
Very well. How is it going?
Good. Just vibing here, chilling, and just trying to have some meaningful conversations.
Yeah.
Where the topic is actually community building and education, but I think we haven't gotten into that just yet.
Okay. So I came in like late during the conversation. I wanted to ask, is it a coin you're talking about? And if yes, what coin is it? And I was hearing something about pre-launch buying.
Yeah, actually, we're not solely a coin. We are an NFT platform with a gamifiable, features, but also we have a native cryptocurrency, which is called Arts. And we are at the pre-sale stage that when you can register and you can buy our own token.
Okay. And where can I buy it on right now?
You can just go to our Twitter bio. It should have a link to a top link, and website should be one of them.
Is that Giddy traffic?
Does the link?
Okay. Let's pin it up on the Jumbotron so it's easily accessible.
Yeah.
So you just look up on the Nest, it will be pinned up there.
All right, bet.
Give me a sec.
All right.
Okay, so another question, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what's the benefits of having your coin or of purchasing coin? I'm not talking about pre-sales, what do you call it? When you invite other people and all of that. I'm not talking about that. Like, what's the benefit of holding your coin?
Well, ideally, it's as the benefit of any other coin, right? It rises in price and you gain. Apart from that, you can make transactions on the platform, which is also the utility, I guess. Yeah, if you're not talking solely about pre-sale, that's the short answer.
Okay. So do you have NFTs?
Not yet. As I mentioned, we are in the pre-sale stage, but yeah, we're launching somewhere around June, and then we'll have the marketplace launched. Basically, people will have the ability to mint, to sell, to buy, to list collections, and not only on our platform.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you.
No, thank you. I actually forgot to mention that we will be holding a giveaway for our cryptocurrency, which is called Art. You can see it pinned at the top. It also has a link to the website, which is a part of the terms for the giveaway. So go check it out. We'll give it away among the people who will just be in the space. I think it should be like the regular process. Later, after the space, we'll announce the winner. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's great. So, guys, check up on the pinned tweets on the Jumbotron and follow the steps so you could partake in this giveaway. All right. So, Blessing, how's it going? You requested the mic. I guess you want to say something to us. Please unmute your mic and talk to us. Hello, Blessing.
I think not yet, but if you want to chime in during any part of the conversation, just go ahead.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Hey, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you for accepting my request. So I just joined the space. So I'm not sure if there was like an ongoing conversation that I missed, but I joined because I have a question about community building in Web3.
Yeah, shoot.
Okay. So my question is presently a social media manager and community manager too, and I work with Web3 Ladies. Web3 Ladies is a community for women looking to get into the Web3 space. So what we do is we teach them, we organize events and classes and all of that for them so they can learn core skills and help them better leverage opportunities in this space. So my question is, with you, I want to ask if there's any, or what are the best incentives that you've noticed from your experience with building communities? What kind of incentives work best for to get community members to actively participate in programs or classes or whatever it is you organize for them?
Okay, a good question. So you do organize education yourself?
Yes, we have cohorts and we connect them to established people in the space who can be their mentors and have chats with them along different career paths.
Okay, interesting. That's a good question, actually. Gide, what do you think?
Well, yeah, it is a good question, and like I would say, first off, if human beings normally, in my experience, right, they think of themselves first before a second person. So if you're going to propose an idea to them, I think you need to fashion it in a way that they see some form of utility or they see some form of gains, right? So if you're telling them to come join a community or you're trying to build a community, you need to let them see the benefits before they join. They have to see why they're joining the community. I mean, no one wants to do anything that is futile, right? So, why are you building the community? Why do you want them to come join your community? You know, tell them some of the future benefits, present benefits, or the utility ahead, or the roadmap. You know, so you need to have that structured out first, because you won't just uh, gather a bunch of people and it's aimless. They need to know why they all coming together to form a community. So what goal are they trying to achieve? I personally feel that's one of the methods you could use to, basically just let them see the incentives, they have to gain for coming to the community, right? So like Artozo is telling us now about their products and their marketplace. Now we here have seen what we stand to gain, right? The benefits. We've heard a little about the roadmaps. We see how we can gain from just registering on the site for even joining some form of affiliate program, or telling people about the site. We see what we stand to gain. So that alone is some form of attraction. And okay, let's check this out and see what it holds for us. So I personally feel you should work towards structuring out the utilities or the incentives that you want to propose to these people that you want to join your community. All right. So what do you think, Artozo? Blessing, did you get that?
Oops.
Yes, I got that. Very insightful answer. Thank you for sharing.
No
Did
problem.
you hear me when I was talking just a second ago?
No, I think you were muted.
Oh, okay. So I was just saying that you're totally right, and this is only the beginning of the path, actually, right? Because afterwards you'll have to hold the community. You'll have to, one thing, the initial thing is to market it properly so that people understand what you stand for. There is certain value behind your product. But once they join your community, how to make it so that they don't leave? And that's the hardest part, because firstly, which is the obvious, you'll need to hold onto your promises, and you'll need to be fulfilling them. But apart from that, you'll need to create something new and engaging. And that's all, general terms, but this is just the basic things you need to do in order to hold the community. Something that holds them to a platform, because afterwards a lot of competitors will, not the platform, but any type of work you do, the competitors will emerge. They'll try to overtake your communities. They'll try to overrun you. And not only that, people will, after some time, they'll get not bored, but maybe this is something that will be mundane for them. Some people will churn because they would want change, and a lot of different factors go into this. But I believe the core thing after you attract people is holding them, not like hostage, obviously, but and not making them stay with you, but make so that they want to stay with you. There are two different things about that, right? And I believe there are a bunch of different ways. Either because the space around the crypto and NFT, I think the bigger percentage of people is about a commercial side, which is neither fortunate nor unfortunate. That's just how it is. And some people are about art purely. Some people are about some other things like communities solely, right? And you need to balance it out, I think, with not only commercial incentives, but also some values that community stands for, whether it's just examples, integrity or education in the space or something like that. So you need to be you're then held accountable for what you stand for. And You need to think what the community will be looking for in your project to know how to communicate it to them.
Yeah, right. Those are really vital points. You have to be credible, and you have to show them some value in coming to your community, right? If you're building a community, so be credible, show value, and engage your community. Like you rightly said, if someone comes in, they are interested in your idea or whatever it is, you need to engage the community and keep them interested in the community, right? Otherwise, they will get bored. So while you do whatever it is you're doing in the community, keep the community members engaged. Yeah, those are really vital tips there. All right. Okay, Blessing, did she get robbed? Okay, she's still listening. All right. Blessing, I'm hoping your questions were answered. And if you have further questions, you can still request the mic and come back up.
Yeah, I would love to hear more about their community and what they try to achieve, and maybe we'll learn from it too.
Okay. I think she did get robbed. She's coming back up.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear. So how do you do it yourself? How do you organize the community? How do you attract people?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Okay. So far, the strategy that has really worked for us is one. Of course, this is very dependent on the target audience for the community and the space, the niche, the community. So for us at Web3 Ladies, seeing as our community is about Web3, and Web3 is the sort of trendy space that everybody wants to get into, but then everybody is still not sure what it's about, and everybody doesn't really know what it's about. So what has worked for us so far is giving them education, making a lot of educative posts, and then sharing success stories from our current community members. So yeah, that's too, and then collaborations too, collaborating with other communities or other brands, and sometimes influencers, getting influencers to give us shout outs. Yeah, that's what I'd say has worked for us so far.
Sounds reasonable. Do you have like any struggles with communicating what you actually propose to the community?
No, I'd say not really. Not really, because, like I said earlier, our niche, we found our niche, and it's just Web3. So I'd say if we're struggling with something, it's maybe ways to keep every community member actively engaged, because even in Web3, there's still like different other niches in Web3. There's coding, and then there's content, and then there's marketing, and everybody's not going to be interested in everything. So like finding ways to carry everyone along and make sure that everybody's learning and getting enough skills in their own chosen like field in Web3. I think that might be the what would be posing a struggle or a challenge to us.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Because to me, it seems like when you start something like this, right, you have like a whole bunch of, I don't know, pieces of text about what you do, how you can bring value, and that kind of stuff. But to communicate it to people, you need to narrow it down to a couple of sentences, which is hard when you start, right?
Yeah.
Because so that they understand, and those sentences need to, display the value, be short enough for people to catch it, and that's for me is one of the toughest parts, about communicating to people what you actually do.
Yeah. So there's a question I want to ask. Yeah.
Yep.
So I was part of a space one time, and somebody just casually mentioned that most times Web3 marketers don't get it right because they use a lot of Web3 terms and the target and the market still doesn't understand those terms. So people don't understand what you're saying. And it made me wonder, is it, if we are going to be driving for adoption of Web3, should we be using Web3 terms, all the hashtags and code words that everybody doesn't know about, or should you speak to people in the terms they already know about? Because if we're speaking to them in the terms they already know about, then they won't be learning about Web3 terms. But if we use Web3 terms, they'll still not understand what we're saying because they don't know Web3 terms. What's your take on that?
Oh, okay. That's a good one, Giri.
Yeah, it is actually. And I concur with that as well because now, like when she spoke earlier, talking about the strategies that you employ, there are a lot of curious minds, okay? People who don't know much about the Web3 space and they're curious about it, they want to know about it. I personally am all for onboarding and educating people in this space. So I really like that where she said, try to educate people who want to know more about the Web3 space. There are a lot of them out there. Educate people. And when you educate someone, you tend to help mentor them in their journey through this Web3 space. And that's also another strategy when it comes to building a community. Because if you educate someone, you educate a bunch of people, you're indirectly building a community under you as well. So back to your question. Yes. So I feel like where they get it wrong is most times when you try to educate someone or teach someone about a subject or something or a topic that you are well vested in, okay? You're the specialist and you're talking to someone to bring them up to speed, okay? Most times people tend to use the big terms, the professional terms and the big words. And the people you're talking to, right, they haven't gotten to that stage yet. So you need to speak to them like they're 5-year-olds. That's what I tell people every time. If you're trying to educate someone, you have to break it down to tiny chunks, make it easily digestible and assimilatable by the people. So when they hear or listen what you say, they would easily understand. So yes, so there are two sets of crowd: those who are not well vested in the space, who you're trying to educate, and those who already are. So when you use the big terms, you end up reaching out to people who already are in the space and they know what you're talking about. But those who don't, it comes off as gibberish to them. So yes, you should break down the terms. Maybe go back to using Web 2 terms if you're trying to talk about Web 3, because Web 2 has been with us for a while. So a lot of people are familiar with the terms, the terminologies, and the lingo. So try to employ that lingo when you're talking about Web 3, educating people about Web 3. You need to break it down. And the good thing with that is if you speak to them like they're 5-year-olds, those who already know about it will understand, and those who don't know about it will understand. But if you're talking with the big terminologies that the newbies or the curious minds are not familiar with, you end up just talking to those who are familiar with, and that defeats the course. So yes, I believe you should select the choice of lingo when talking about Web3. All right.
But wait, at which point do you then implement the sophisticated language?
Oh yeah. Okay. Now she's talking about bringing people up to speed, right? Like talking to people about Web3. So when you're talking to people who are already vested in the Web3 space with knowledge, yeah, then you can use those terms, those terminologies. But like I said, if you use the broken down terminologies, those who do not know about the space, who are not well vested in it yet, they would understand. And those who are vested in it, they would understand. So you're talking to two crowds. But if you use the big terminologies, right, then you end up talking to a particular crowd of people. And then those who do not know, they end up getting left behind. All right. That is why if you must talk, I would advise you use those terminologies. I mean, if you're speaking with people who already know what you're talking about, yes, then you can. But if you're speaking to a larger crowd of people, I would advise that you use the easy terminology for people to understand, because whether we like it or not, the Web3 space is it is fast evolving, but it's still pretty new to a lot of parts. Still pretty new. So if we or those who are already vested in it start speaking like everybody should understand, you would end up right. You would you would end up speaking to a particular crowd and leaving another. So there, that is what. So just so you don't have a set of people marginalized, I would suggest that you speak with more easily understandable terms. Yep.
Okay, at first I was kind of disagreeing with you when I was looking at it from a personal standpoint, right? When I think about it from the business standpoint and from how information is communicated, you are totally right. But when I project it onto myself, when I see some unknown or hear some unknown acronym, I immediately go to the web, and I Google it, and I learn more and more about it. So that's just something that's built in, right? But you're totally right. If you're addressing a large crowd of people, it's better to we're all humans after all. If we will speak in acronyms, all day, every day, it would make much sense. We could make acronyms from sentences and that kind of stuff, and it would.
Yes, you're right. And like you said, when you hear terms you do not understand, and then you have to go back to Google and Google the terms, and now you're educated, right? But then that's like a longer process, right? So if those who do not have the nerve or time to go back and research the acronyms will end up getting lost. So now you research the acronym, you know what it means, and then you have to go back and fit it in the sentence and try to make a piece of what they're talking about in in a lump sum. So I would say, right, you break it down. Like if you talk about something like as simple as what's that word? Let's say you say wag me now. You're talking to a bunch of people and you start using wag me, like everybody should know what wag me means, right? And they're looking at you like, okay, what is wag me? Is it some kind of code? Is it some some special string of code in Solidity, something like that? What is wag me, right? And then you have to break it down. Yeah, wag me just basically means we're all gonna make it. Okay, so we're all gonna make it. I feel like if you had said that, then we would understand as opposed to just saying wag me. All right. So basically both works, right? But you need to identify your crowd, basically. Just identify the crowd of people you're talking to so you know when to select your words or how to further break it down when you use it. Yeah. Okay, operators. You have your hand up. I feel like you want to contribute to say something. Please unmute your mic and speak.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Hey.
Excellent. Hi, guys. Nice to be here with you. I just want to add a few remarks. I've just joined about 10 minutes ago because I got home from work. I was looking forward to this space, so I got notified from the reminder I've set. And yes, Giri is absolutely right in every word he mentioned before. But basically, my point of view is that if you want to be educated, it's all out there, man. But yes, it does take time. For example, when I first came into the NFT space, first thing I did was Google Twitter NFT terminology. I Googled that, and I had about 10 results. I've opened the first 2 or 3, I've read them, I've bookmarked them, and every time on Twitter that I was seeing a tweet with acronyms or with a term that I didn't know, I was going back to my bookmarks and read it over again. So if someone wants, it really wants, and to get knowledge and education, it's really easy, but it needs time and patience. You have to go through YouTube tutorials. You have to observe and read a lot. And not many people have got the time to do it, especially if they are artists or collectors that they want to learn other things first. Um, so yeah, and Web3, we haven't seen anything yet from Web3. I don't think it's been launched to every aspect of it. Basically, all the developers are trying to adjust from Web2 to Web3, and they're learning new things every day. What do I mean adjust? They all had to learn about blockchain. They all had to learn about smart contracts, you know? So, but it was easier for them because they had the background of programming and developing. So once again, we haven't seen anything yet from Web3. The best is to come, and every day passing by, there are so many things discovered and so many new programs and developing functions that the developers are discovering. There's so many potentials. That's what I needed to say for now. Thanks for giving me the mic. Thank you.
No, thanks
man. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for that contribution. Made a lot of sense, actually. You know, it did. Okay. Go ahead.
I was going to mention that it does make sense that it takes a lot of time, but when you build a community around educating people, how do you? Because I think that's what Blessing was asking, right? How do you first address the terms? And that's a tricky one. I think Giri answered that. He was right on point.
Can I add something again to this question?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, basically, you have to be educated yourself if you want to educate your community. What we did in our Discord community with the artists I work for, what we're doing basically is helping anyone that comes in and asks the most silly question to someone else, or the most simple question. We just try to educate them by becoming their friends and being patient with them. And also, lots of times we do learn from them some things that we have missed. So that's one strategy of building your community and educating it. To show them love, show them respect, answer to every question they ask, be patient with them, and they will appreciate that, and they won't leave you. It has worked for us, guys, I'm telling you. Thanks again.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So basically, you have to be educated, right? But in context to Blessing's question, yeah, how does one who is educated bring those who are not educated up to speed in the most easiest fashion? So I think that's what led to the answers we did give. Okay. So, someone here hasn't said anything. That's Nomaj. Please, apologies if I did butcher that, but you can unmute your mic and speak.
Hello, my name is Ethan, and I'm a community manager at Domain. Very close. I wanted to get up here.
All right, thank you.
I wanted to get up here to ask a question. How does building a community from the ground up differ in Web 2 versus Web 3?
Okay. This one makes me think. Do you have something to say first, Giri? I'm stuck.
Yeah. Well, actually, I would say it doesn't differ. It's pretty much the same thing, because building a community, right? Sometimes when we say it like that, it seems like we're talking about a community of what? Robots or what? Human beings, right? So it's the same interaction pretty much. The people you interacted with from Web 1 to 2, and now you're trying to get them to Web3. It's pretty much the same thing. It's the same people. So the methods are still pretty much the same. It's just it's a different class, right? It's a different class. So it's pretty much the same thing, except if you're asking a different question. But you might also please clarify if you're asking a different question. But I think it's pretty much the same thing. You're just using different terminologies, but it's the same thing you would do as if you were a Web 2 that you would do in Web 3, just different terminologies. Please clarify if that is not the question you asked.
Yeah, it very much is. But then my question for you is, how is that possible? How do you build a community from the ground up? Because that's kind of what I'm working on right now.
Can I jump in?
Yeah. Please go.
Okay, to answer your previous question, I have my own take on this. It's kind of the same, but it's as with anything else, because it's not like, in my point of view, it's not about Web 2 changing to Web 3. It's rather, as it usually is, people's in marketing you call it personas, or motivation, incentives, etc. It's just their motivation, maybe the environment, it all changes. So it doesn't really depend on which web is it. It's rather, what are you trying to promote? What is your project? What are you building the community around? I think Giri answered something similar to this, right? So I'm kind of repeating you, but yeah, in my view, it's not like the difference between the webs. It's rather a difference between the people's incentives, what they come for, and what you stand for. Maybe it's the same thing, but just in Web3, kind of adjusted. But if it is, then there's not much difference, right? It's rather the channels you attract people through, and I don't know, the narrative stays pretty much the same. But if it's something different, then it's it would be the same difference if it were two different projects in Web 2, right? Maybe I messed the whole thing up and you're confused now, but yeah.
No. So yeah, it's pretty much same thing. Prentice, I see your hand up, but I would you would speak in just a second, please. So we did talk about this earlier. I'm sure you came late, but if you build a community, it's basically getting a bunch of people who resonate with your goal. They see value in your roadmap or whatever it is that you're building a community around. You need to have that defined and structured out. So they see some form of value in it. They see utility in just joining the community and being with the rest of the people in the community, right? So it's like, if you have a community of gamers now, people who play games together, right? They're dead because everyone resonates with everyone for the cause, right? Even if it's just for the pleasure of playing together, comparing scores, trading ideas, and stuff like that. So everyone basically should resonate with your original idea for building a community, right? If they don't, then nah. So getting a bunch of people together who share the same ideas and goals, and engaging them in the community and keeping them. I think that's pretty much the basics, right? So, operators, please, you can speak your hands up.
Yes, answer to the same question. Basically, you start by building your community from the ground with Web 2 techniques first, like creating a social media profile. Twitter, of course, is the most popular one. Then you want to pass to the Web 3, you have to be a bit educated. You have to make a Discord. Then it depends. What do you have? You have, like Giri said, meaning you have to target your audience. You want an audience of just gamers if you have a play-to-earn platform? Do you want an audience of just traders if you've got NFT? And what kind of traders? The long-term or the quick flip ones. So basically, you've got to set up some choices, some goal choices of in what you personally are looking, and then everyone that comes along one by one. It needs patience, man. It's not working from one day to another. It's need patience and consistency in your social media, in your Discord, and then when people start joining, you can try to give them, like you just said, different motives, or make them get involved in the community by suggesting lots of different things they might think it will help, or making votes for something that you suggest. Just take it as it go. Be yourself. Be real, and people will see that. That is my addition. Thanks again for giving me the mic. Thank you.
No worries. Thanks, Operarius. Speaking of community building, and using different tools, we would be actually grateful if you could retweet this space, so that we could get more people here and hear more, interesting questions. But coming back to this one, I think we answered a lot. We hypothesized a lot, and we could go on about this for a long time. But what's your obstacle domain, or do you have any troubles with it? What's your experience?
For me?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I'm just trying to get more people in the Discord server. So we're kind of incentivizing it in different ways, whether it's like granting early access to the app, or just giving them extra benefits so that they can get a head start when the app launches. Just trying to like give them incentives to join and be a part of us early on. But yeah, it's just so hard because there's so much competition. You go into spaces and like everyone has their own project and is presenting and trying to promo. So I'm new to this space too, and I also wanted to come up just because someone was talking about speaking in layman's terms, like kind of dumbing it down in a way, and actually that is so helpful because my boss sat me down for like 2 hours and explained everything to me, like gas prices, token ID, like all the little tickers on Etherscan, and it just helped me so much. So I think educating is a huge part of building a community as well.
Yes, absolutely correct, Ken. I like the fact that you spoke out of some experience there, because sometimes it's a bit challenging when you're trying to learn something and they're speaking to you in terms that you do not understand. It's like you're trying to learn English and they're trying to teach it to you in French. So sometimes it comes off as that. So like you said, use layman's terms and break it down as much as possible. Yeah, so as regards your question, I think I understand better now. So, like Operator said, it involves the tools that you need to build the community. And by tools, I mean like the social media you're using and stuff like that. Okay, so I will tell you this for free. When building the community, right, across platforms, it is really tough, okay? And by that, I mean, if you have a bunch of following and say TikTok, for example, and you set up a Twitter page and you try to make them come follow you on Twitter, right? Now, it is really tough because human beings, are usually comfortable where you find them, okay? So if you have people on Twitter, you're trying to build a Discord, or you're trying to build a Facebook or a TikTok page, and then you try to move that following from one platform to another, it is always a bit of a challenge. And now, like you rightly said, incentivizing them is good, but that has a tendency to go wrong because it depends on the incentives you put up, okay? Because if you tell someone you do giveaways, all right, follow me on certain platforms, follow me on all these platforms, and you would get so and so, right? Now, most times it has a tendency to attract the wrong crowd, okay? Because who doesn't like freebies? Everybody loves freebies. So if you say, come follow me and you win $5, you win an NFT. Anyone who's coming to follow you is not exactly following you for the cause you're trying to promote, okay? They're coming for the $5. They're coming for the NFT. So you have to be careful. It gets really dicey when you try to incentivize people to gain followers or to gain a community. They're just coming in for the freebies, for the giveaway, right? So, like a couple people said earlier on, preach the course to people, and you would get people who resonate with you, and that forms a stronger foundation when building a community. Someone who agrees or resonates with your cause, right? If you build a community around that, then you have a solid foundation. But if you tell people, come follow me here and win this, do this to come do this to come gain this, they're just coming for the gains. And after the gains, I guarantee you you're not going to get much out of them anymore, because it's like, okay, yeah, follow me. I followed you. I've gotten what I wanted for following you. I'm good. So it's a process. The best is to educate people who maybe are not so learned in it, and then you build your own community from there, and they resonate with your cause, they agree with whatever the roadmap is and the utilities or the values you're promoting, and that way you would get a solid community. All right, I hope I was able to answer it as best as I could. Domain?
Yeah, very much. And there's also a whole aspect of like over promising. You don't want to over promise because you'll end up under delivering. And
That is
you don't want to do that.
absolutely true. Yeah, that's absolutely true, because we've seen that a lot in this space. Like a lot of people with out of this world utilities attached to whatever projects they're running, and then they run into a fix because they cannot deliver. So basically, just let people see what you're running with, and actually, you need the support, because really, your community is your strength. You know, the connections you make in this space are your strength. So if they believe in whatever it is you're proposing, they will support you through it. You're not just going to sit down and have you run it head first and do everything yourself and then just rip off the gains. So if they believe in your cause, then you get the support from them, pretty much. All right? Artozo.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree with you. I was thinking to, not thinking to, but I've been following this thing of under promise, over deliver. But at the same time, it's kind of a balancing act, right? Because you need to, I mean, if you under promise, you say, we're just, for example, on our example, you say we are just an NFT platform, just as other platform. Then we come up and we have a bunch of different cool features, but nobody knows, because when we were under promising, nobody, people were like, so what? And that's it. That's you need to balance it, for sure. But you need to be, what I'm sure of, you need to be firstly understanding your audience, right? You need to know what your audience looks like. Maybe those personas are fading away in the marketing trends, but you need to understand why people would want to use that and who, right? For example, your app. Then you'll need to figure out how to reach them, and essentially you'll need to have the clear and concise message to them, so that they see specifically why they need to use your app. I know it sounds generic, and I would love to go into more detail. Maybe we will. But this is like the basics, and you need to. I was gonna say, when you address the people, you need to be clear, concise, so that they know, and you need to talk to them in their language. because when they come to you, for example, they may already have objections in the head, right? Like this app is not going to work, or there is some other app with this. You need to be ready for this, and you need to make those objections your strength, right? You need to highlight that, and that's the hard part, because I can sit and talk about this for hours in generic terms, right? But the actual hard part about it is doing this, right? Sitting there figuring out how to do this. There's a lot of soft skills that go into this work, and it's not that something that will come to you like instantly, but it's just work in progress, and you are not going to nail it from the first try, because whatever assumptions you make about your potential community, some of them are certainly going to fade away as you start to interact with them, because you learn from people who say, no, I'm going. Maybe they'll not say that, but eventually you'll learn that people don't hold for long at your community because of this, or they don't want to join because of this, and it's just a work in process. You need to iterate as you go.
Well, thank you so much for everyone's advice. Like, I really do appreciate it, because I'm still somewhat young and definitely new to the NFT community. So like every bit of advice helps. But I would also add, like, for everyone on Twitter, you guys need to get on TikTok. Like, okay, I started a new account, and like, I will admit, like, I get why like people older than me hate the app, because something changed. Like, there's a weird algorithm in there now that shows you very like normie content. But when you really use it and get your algorithm down by just using the app more and more, you'll find your community, and it will pair you with the people that you want to watch and interact with. So get on TikTok, everybody. It's such an easy way to reach such a huge amount of people.
Yeah, you're totally right. We have
absolutely correct. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I actually saw a little studied some place that said actually the best platform to promote your NFT is not Twitter, as opposed to what people think. Maybe being a community, fine, but to promote NFTs is actually TikTok. TikTok comes number one before Twitter, and then I guess the other platforms. So yes, he's actually correct. TikTok actually does a whole lot for these creators. So if you're here and you're a creator, you need to start looking at TikTok, to promoting your product. All right, go on, Artozo.
Yeah, you're totally right. I was just going to mention that we have a TikTok, and if you go to our tap link, you can see the link there. We're trying hard, and it's actually what you mentioned. The main is something that you immediately find your audience, which is some magical way. It's not like you become a million view per video account instantly, but you get connected to people that you want to be connected to. And I'm not sure how that works. We have people who are in charge of TikTok, but yeah, I'm addicted to it, that's for sure. And yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah, well, okay. Thanks so much for having me up here. I feel like I've used my time, and I'm gonna step down to the listening. So thank you, guys.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. Anytime. So yeah, anyone who wants to come, just say something. You just want to say hi to everyone or ask Artozo some questions. Yeah, you can actually come up and speak, because I don't know how long we'll be here for. So let's use your time. And Artozo, you can actually get to me on that.
Sorry, come again, because it was laggy for me.
Yeah, so I don't know how long we'll be here for, so I'm actually asking those who need to come ask a question, or they just want to come say something, or they want to talk about themselves. It is fine. Like I said earlier on, it's not a space where we hoard the mic. So if you want the mic, come up and get it, and we would have you speak, say whatever it is you want to talk about, or is a question you want to ask. So let's do that now while we have time. All right.
Yeah, you're totally right. I just regarding the time, I think we have around 40 minutes more. So plenty of time to hear to y'all and answer your questions or discuss any crucial topics. As I mentioned, we would be glad if you could retweet the space and mention us. We have a giveaway pinned on top, so go check that out.
Yes, please. You can up on the jumbotron or the nest, whichever you call it. You can actually click on that and get more information as regards the giveaway, right? And you want to hop on that pretty early too, so I implore you to do that.
You call it a nest? I've never heard it called that way.
Oh yeah, like those that the programmers, right? The tech people at Twitter, they call it a nest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know. They like to use this terminology that revolves around birds and stuff like that. So they call it a nest. Some people call it a jumbotron.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Now, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It is, but it's cool though. It is cool.
I like this mechanics like a lot. The way they implemented this and how it blew up instantly with the spaces, and how
you dig. Exactly. I actually prefer that. I mean, a lot of people were used to Clubhouse, using Clubhouse and all, but I kind of like the little differences between this and Clubhouse,
Yeah, me too. Totally. It's something that I didn't expect to be here myself, and I haven't been using Twitter before, just recently. I had an account, but it was they just there. And this is something I just love the way people picked this up so quickly for their own purposes, like the chill spaces and AMA sessions and whatever they have to talk about. It's just how natural it all felt. Maybe it wasn't natural, I don't know, but this is how it felt to me. Yeah, we didn't touch.
It is, and it works best for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, I was gonna say it actually works best for the CMA, the shield spaces and the AMAs. It actually works because they get to speak to people, and we have this emojis. And just a brief segue, what do you think about this? The emojis. Were you on Twitter when the hearts were hundreds? It used to be hundreds for the hearts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It got replaced with the hearts. I preferred the hundreds, and I think I speak for a larger number of people because they preferred the hundreds. I think it's better to throw up hundreds when you actually agree or support whatever it is someone is saying. So you can just hit the hundreds, but it got replaced with the hearts, and I don't know. They said they might bring it back, but we're just hopeful for that.
When did it happen? The change?
I think 2 or 3 updates back, right? 2 or 3 updates back. Yeah, they removed the hundreds and replaced it with the hearts. Yeah, and as opposed to speaking in a room with people, right? What you get is this emojis. That's why I actually employ people to use it, more often, because sometimes you're speaking and what you get are just a bunch of AVIs staring right back at you, and and you do not know if they are actually listening to what you're saying, if they are agreeing with what you're saying, if they do not agree with what you're saying, or they enjoy what you're saying. So it's always good, right? And this is just a tip. If y'all hop in spaces and you actually want to show connection, right? That you are actually listening to what's going on in the space, or you resonate with what someone is saying, or you do not agree, or you agree, you can use the emojis, right? If you find it funny, you could do the laughing emoji. If what they're saying makes a bit of sense, the clapping emoji. The peace sign, I think you either use that to say bye or sometimes hello, and then you wave at someone, and then of course the hands up if you have a question like you do in the classrooms, right? So please guys use the emojis if you hop in spaces. It helps the speakers and listeners too as well. All right, Artozo, you can take it away.